Conor Bradley had a great game against Real Madrid. I'm not sure. What's about?
Where's Wirtz?
Huh? Oh, he's
up
here.
with us.
He's here. he's sat here.
How can you, after a performance like that against Real Madrid, not playing?
Because these three are so good. He'll be sat here next to Isak, who they spent. It's about 300 million, just here.
Welcome back in the morning footy. The marquee matchup of the weekend, Manchester City, they host Liverpool, the reigning Premier League champions. And now these two teams, they've been the dominant two teams in the modern era of the Premier League. And the numbers really show it. Of the 8 Premier League titles won, it's been City and Liverpool's world, and everyone else has just been living in it. Arne Slot, as you see, kissing the Premier League trophy, will be hoping to take a big step to get back in the Premier League title race. Now, prior to the match, Arne Slot had a few key words to say. Let's hear from the Liverpool manager on how he sees this game and what it means to him.
Very interesting game to look forward to, because when I wasn't working here and when I was in Holland, I didn't know when City Liverpool was or what Liverpool City was, and I could tell you I was 100% sure in front of my television when this game was there. Similar to Classico, by the way, but these are the few games everyone is looking forward to.
This game has a different feel about it, and we saw the list of the last 8 Premier League champions and winners, mind you. Can either of these two sides get back in a Premier League title race and overtake Arsenal?
Well, depends what happens on Saturday. They could be 9 points behind. So,
if any team could mess it up, though.
Yeah. If anything, I just keep reminding people we're only just into November. There is a long, long way to go. And these two, I said at the start of this season, I think this could be a vintage Premier League. And I stand by that. Because you look how well Arsenal are doing at the moment. Look at the amount of talent in these two squads. They're finding their feet. They've both had wobbles as well. But we're also seeing signs of improvement with both of these sides. So, absolutely, either of these two. I mean, ideal weekend for Arsenal. They win, these two draw. But even then, if that were to happen, it's far from over. But I think this is a mouth-watering fixture. Yeah,
this is obviously the game of the weekend for most people. I think you're going to see goals. I don't think either team are defending that great. I also think that it's going to be who can control the midfield. And we're going to talk to that in a few seconds. But Liverpool's midfield is starting to look like one of last year. Man City's midfield hasn't looked the same without Rodri being in there. So that's the big part. But both teams have got a goal scorer. So when you've got this guy who can score, and you got that guy we know he's going to score, it's going to be a great game of football. How important is a player like Ryan Gravenberch as well to the foray and the display of Liverpool? Well, it's the trio, isn't it? Along with McAllister, that was such a superb unit. I mean, it's crazy that Wirtz was, this season, he was 100 million plus problem. Putting him in there, it disturbed what they had. But I think the beauty of what we saw the start against, well, we saw those three against Aston Villa, but then against Real Madrid, it's like Arne Slot said, right, that's how it works. That's how it works. See what I did there? but literally, that's now, that's chemistry. That's alchemy right there. And I think that is massive for them to build on. Do you not also think it's a sign of good management, right? Because how easy would it be? He's tried to shoehorn everybody in. It's not worked. They're starting to fall behind. How many managers have we seen now be arrogant and say, right, it's my way or the highway? But he's got, actually, John, I've got this wrong. Let me go back to what works. And if it's Wirtz on the bench or off the left, yes, we spent 116, 120 million pounds on him. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he will be good over the long run. And I think he's a succession plan. Do you give him a little bit of latitude because he needed Szoboszlai at right back at one point? A little bit of latitude there? No, because he chose to do that. You had Conor Bradley, you had Frimpong. There was times where they were available. They were available, and he still put him at right back. And obviously against Arsenal, he was fantastic. But here's the differences, as you can see here. Liverpool this season in all comps. This was the first 7, and this is the last 2. Again, it's a small sample size, but you're starting to see just again the goals against. This is the big one for me. And again, we saw it online, I'm sure, seen Virgil van Dijk having his say at Wayne Rooney. I love it, personally. I think that's showing the sign of leadership. That's him taking it personally. But I think Virgil now has actually looked around and said, right, let's get to what we're doing. You look at the left-back situation. Kirk has not... that shirt's felt a bit heavy for him. So, OK, if you go, we'll go back to Robertson. give you a bit more time to develop, get used to this, but we'll go back to what we know.
On the other side of things, Manchester City coming off a good result against Borussia Dortmund. Big opportunity for them as well. Erling Haaland's gotten the goals, Geoff. But I want to talk more about Phil Foden because he looked more like the Phil Foden from a couple of seasons ago that looked unplayable on the night.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Foden, there's no questioning his ability and what he brings to this side. But it's a fascinating mixture. I mean, we talked about these goals the other day. He doesn't strike it, he strokes it. He's a beautiful technician. He plays with his head up, and he's the type of player, he's unselfish as well. He'll bring people into play, but he also has an eye for goal himself. So he's the complete footballer. He's a superb footballer. Slow start for him this season, but look at him now. Hugely influential player. No surprise he's back in the England squad, and we'll talk about that later in the show as well. But for me, Manchester City, they've got so much there. There's three players I think that are the most important for them. Rodri, and Rodri. I just think they've nursed themselves through to this point. I can't tell you how I personally think he's so important to their title challenge or whatever they achieve this season. He makes the difference. He just locks the door, and he allows people like Foden, people like Cherky, and of course Haaland to get forward. He's absolutely huge, and I'm fascinated to see whether or not he starts at the weekend.
Yeah, the only thing for me in regards to Phil Foden isn't whether his ability, as you said, you've got all of those things. It's what version of him are we getting. 2 seasons ago, PFA Player of the Year, was excellent. Yeah. Unanimous, everyone said he was the best player ever. Last season, really poor. In an England shirt, we're not sure what we're going to see as well. So when you said, we'll get into it a bit later, when you said you're not surprised he's back in the England squad, I'm actually surprised. Because I haven't seen enough of a volume of work to say he's back yet. But the other night, you have to say he was fantastic.
So when we look at the matchups, and there's matchups galore, Geoff, I'm going to come to you on the Manchester City side. Pep Guardiola has a plethora of options, maybe not in the Rodri position. Nico Gonzalez is the player who's been playing. But in this front line, I mean, there's so much versatility and creativity.
I love this guy. I love this guy because in many ways, he's not a Pep Guardiola player. And the Pep gives him licence. He doesn't try and box him and tell him this, strict guidance, maybe like he did with Jack Grealish. This guy, he just lets him go and do what he wants to do. And he often comes into this little pocket here. His assists last week for Haaland were just magical. You're a centre-forward. Yeah. How much of a dream is it to play with somebody like him?
It's great because Haaland doesn't have to think. He knows as soon as it's coming and running. And when you've got that wavelength with players, you've already got the advantage over centre-backs. So if I have to say, I'm not sure if Geoff's going to do it. When I do that, it's gone. Yeah. But if I know it's coming to you, Geoff, and I'm already running, now the defender's dead. And also, when Haaland starts running, no one's going to catch
Just very quickly, as soon as you did that, I was like...
Yeah, look, we know what we're going to get. But it's whether or not... Does Rodri start for you?
Has to. Again, I know you're trying to nurse him back and get ready. That's the area for me. These two, 1 and 2, very good football players, technically very good football players. Can they live with the pace and power of these three? That's where, to me, that's where the game will be won or lost.
If you're Pep, though, do you have worries if you put Rodri in, he then goes away on international duty?
Absolutely. I don't want him going away on international duty.
But do you want him for this game?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So I'll play for 60. And then I have to bring him off. Or I have to say to him, we played the whole 90. I'm going to need a favour here, mate. Can you tell everyone that your hamstring's sore so you're not going? That's what I'm saying. I've got to be calling it on.
Why you lie?
You speak of sore hamstrings. We have to talk about Liverpool. And you were talking to me before the show about the back line. I mean, so much being made about the two full-backs. How do you see them matching up against City?
100%. Well, we just alluded to it. The three in midfield here have gone back to what they know. That they've got pace, power, energy, and control. Gravenberch for me will be there, and they kind of sit more side by side. We know the front three can score goals. They know on their day they can cause trouble. Conor Bradley had a great game against Real Madrid. I'm not sure. What's about?
Where's Wirtz?
Huh? Oh, he's
up
here.
with us.
He's here. he's sat here.
How can you, after a performance like that against Real Madrid, not playing?
Because these three are so good. He'll be sat here next to Isak, who they spent. It's about 300 million. just here, just warming up. They'll be ready. We'll need them later in the season. But for me, these are the two key areas. Conor Bradley was great against Real Madrid. We can't say anything bad about that. He hasn't been that all season. So again, similarly to what we're saying with Phil Foden, which version of you are we going to get? Because Doku has been fantastic. You know he's direct, you know his pace, you know he's going to get at you. Can you handle that? You've just had a good test with Vinicius Junior.
You've got me stumped there. Is there a serious tactical reason why he would play Wirtz? Is there a case to play him?
There is, in my opinion, because Mateus Nunes at right back is naturally a midfielder by trade. He normally gets lost. I would love to see Wirtz play, but I think Gakpo can do it. And just come in this position here. Just try and get in the middle and have him thinking, do I need to come in here? Is it John Stones' man? And if John Stones jumps, that's when you slide through the middle. But also, you do know O'Reilly's going to have a big game, and he's a very, very exciting young player. But he's been excellent this season because he's got to shut down Mo Salah.
Yeah, so I'm going to bury the lead a bit. I should have led with this, but at the end of the day, with Manchester City, it's about Erling Haaland. On 98 Premier League goals, too shy of another milestone. I'm going to come to you as a former striker. Does he get 100 goals by the weekend?
I think so. How do you stop him? That's the question. How do you stop him? I don't know. But you can talk about all of these things. Look, 106 goals, Crouchy, Drogba, Ronaldo, Matt Letizia.
Number there, it's ridiculous.
98 and 107. That is frightening. Just look at everybody else. Look, even the great Cristiano Ronaldo was not even on that. So it's so hard to score this amount of goals in the Premier League. And for me, while they've got Donnarumma in goal, they've got Rodri to come back, and they've got that guy up front, they will be in the competition to win everything. They can still win the Premier League for me. They can still win the FA Cup. They can still win the Champions League. But he's great, and I'm gonna put my neck on the line. I say he gets 2.
Okay, so you're a betting man, you're a money man. Erling Haaland plus 300 anytime goal scorer. So if you want to make good money from your expertise,
anytime
3-to-1 odds. 3-to-1 odds.
Can't be.
That's 3-to-1 odds right
I'm
now.
in.
You're in? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll join.
That's buying money. I'm in.
You heard it. He'll get it.